Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing? Love the way you look in the mirror and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food. It's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. And today is Friday, and we are doing Thursday episode that is supposed to be a field trip. So either some place, maybe we're going to a place to explore some food, or maybe some interview. And today's episode is dedicated to the information that I'm gathering from the Health Assembly of Moscow, or basically one of the biggest events ever in Russia and Moscow dedicated to health and medicine, modern medicine, quantified medicine, digital medicine and patients. It's about modern patient-doctor relationships and gathering different kinds of analysis in a modern way. Very often it's remote. You send something to lab, they will send you back the results. Then also it's about healthy cities and healthy aging in a city and in new century, in new decade of our lives. And there are international speakers from all over the world, actually. We have speakers from US, we have speakers from Israel, we have speakers from Spain, we have speakers from Singapore, we have speakers from Japan. Actually, one of the speakers from Japan, he is the father of intermittent fasting. Not so much intermittent fasting itself, but the science of autophagy, or cellular self-eating or self-repair mechanism. So he's the father, Yoshinori Osumi. He's the father of autophagy research. He actually did the research and actually got the Nobel Prize for it. So you can Google him, his articles in New York Times, and he's on Wikipedia, of course. We'll talk about his research a little bit later on this podcast. But so this podcast is dedicated to a lot of things that I'm learning from this assembly, a lot of things that I'm learning or that are being confirmed on a more, wider scale for a wider audience, and it's becoming a part of common knowledge that people who are interested in health, longevity, and living without disease and with a lot of energy are interested in. So one of the things that was and is a theme on this event is meals. No 5-6 meals a day kind of thing, but actually 2-3 meals a day on a regular schedule. Some of us might be doing 1 meal a day, but the common theme is you need to eat less. You should stop snacking because it's not good for your metabolism, it's not good for your blood sugar control, it's not good for your pancreas and insulin as a hormone, one of the major metabolic hormones that defines how long you live and how healthy your metabolism is going to be later in your life, especially when you are not as active as in your prime. So 2-3 meals a day, no snacking on a regular basis, and also eating when you're hungry, not eating 2-3 meals a day every single day. Like if you're not hungry and you ate more yesterday, then you probably shouldn't be eating this morning. You should maybe fast for breakfast and go for lunch and dinner, or maybe just go for dinner. So listening to your hunger and having those periods without food are important for our gut health that defines, or that is a foundation, one of the foundations of our overall body health. So for our gut health, for our metabolic health, for our good blood sugar control, for our mental health, for so many things. So 2-3 meals a day without snacking, that should be your goal. And another thing, fasting, 14 hours of fasting between dinner and breakfast. There were no such specifics at this conference because remember, it's for a wider conference and it would take much more time to explain and answer all the questions from the audience and bring up all the research to explain all of this. So 2-3 meals without snacking, it's a huge news for everyone already. Everyone thinks that you need to be eating every 2-3 hours or you're gonna die from hunger or something. Like, we wouldn't survive as species if that would be the case, if that's how we were designed to be, or if that would be the best. People for whom it makes sense to eat 6-7 times a day are bodybuilders. You're probably not a bodybuilder, not a competing bodybuilder who needs to build a lot of muscle and as much as possible actually, and a lot of times to overcome their physical limits. You're not that kind of person, and you're probably not a professional endurance athlete who trains 6 hours a day for Tour de France race, right? So 6-8 meals a day does not apply to you, and that also means no sugary drinks, no coffee with cream, just no calories in between those 2-3 meals. That's the foundation of healthy eating for now, and it's becoming again widely spread, and all of the scientists, like all of the nutritionists who are on the cutting edge, they're talking about that. And the second part of it is eating whole foods that supply your body with all the essential nutrients. Like, a lot of you guys might think that if you eat certain number of calories and proteins and fats and carbs are kind of manageable, then it doesn't matter whether you eat all of your vitamins and minerals. That is, like, you're gonna eat them by default, like 13 vitamins that your body needs, 14 to 16 minerals that your body needs on a regular basis. Like, you think it's kind of a joke. But no, we know what it takes to prevent deficiencies. And probably, before something really serious comes up, you're not gonna experience much, quote unquote, of a trouble from not eating all the essential vitamins and minerals, except that you're gonna get sick more, you're not gonna have that much energy, you're not gonna be so positive and enthusiastic, your memory not gonna work that well, in the gym you're not gonna have that much energy, you're not gonna be able to run that fast, build muscle that fast, come up with amazing ideas because your brain doesn't work that well. That all gonna be affected if you're not getting essential vitamins and minerals that your body needs. So it's not enough to just eat enough food, enough calories. It's actually equally important for your health and well-being to eat all the essential vitamins and minerals. And if you're not planning for that, there is a 99.9% chance that you're not getting something on a regular basis. And so what they talked about at this event is that the best way to get it is eating variety of whole animal and plant-based foods. And variety means, today you eat eggs, tomorrow you eat fatty fish, the day after you eat organ meats like liver, then you might be eating, some wild game, and today you're eating spinach, tomorrow you're eating Brussels sprouts, the day after tomorrow you're eating broccoli. Every day, like shellfish, you adding some foods into your diet, and foods that are rich in essential vitamins and minerals, not, a chia pudding or a new, some quinoa. Quinoa has pretty good nutritional profile, but if you eat just quinoa all day every day, you're not going to get everything, that's for sure, because vitamins, like things like vitamin A or vitamin D, they're very rare and only found in a few foods, and when people are deficient, it undermines almost every function of your body and your brain, like vitamin A, vitamin D, calcium, a lot of things. So and if you're taking a multivitamin, it's not enough either. Studies show, and they were talking about that at that event, that supplements do not work even closely as well as whole foods do. And some supplements like vitamin C might help to prevent like you from dying or getting scurvy. That is a pretty serious condition, but they're not going to be great for optimal performance. And a lot of vitamins like folic acid, for example, it's really a big question whether any of that is absorbed at all. So you need to eat something like liver that is actually super rich in the folic acid that our body needs and uses. So they were talking about whole foods, not supplements, and also whole foods in a sense that eat your vegetables and fruits. Stop, drinking smoothies or juices, or eat your chicken breast or fatty fish, and not some protein shake. For weight management, for satiety, for proper hunger, for so many things, whole foods just work better for our body. I guess because we are also whole and come from the same universe. And so the more you reduce the food to its parts, the less it's going to work for your body. So this is the second theme, eat whole foods for a variety of essential for human health nutrients and vitamins, minerals, and 2-3 meals a day. Stop snacking. What else? Workouts. It's not enough to work out for 30 minutes an hour, even 90 minutes every day, and then sit for the rest of 10 to like 12, 13 hours. It doesn't work. Every time you sit more than 20, 30 minutes, you becoming more insulin resistant, inflammation goes up, your triglycerides or cholesterol, go out of balance. And again, you get more inflammation. A lot of things, like sitting is a new smoking, that phrase reflects what I'm talking about. So instead, you don't have to even do, a really huge, intense workout. But what you need to do for optimal health, the studies show, is what I've been doing for many years since I interviewed NASA scientists for my Food School podcast. It's been somewhere at the beginning, but even before that. And even NASA studies show that you need to move intermittently. So every 30 minutes, to give you an idea, I do some sort of movement. Like I stand up, I sit down. If I'm somewhere where I can do that, I do a couple of push-ups, I do a couple of jumps, I do some stretching. So that kind of movement actually is much more beneficial than just doing an hour workout. So every 30 minutes, on Apple Watch, on many fitness trackers, you even have that function that will give you some sort of sound when you've been sitting for a while not moving. So every 30 minutes, at least, sit down, stand up a couple of times, at least do that. You gotta do that. And standing desks, working desks, it's not optimal. You need to change your position, not be in standing position all the time. That is equally not beneficial. So you need to change your position. That's the idea, against gravity. So squatting and standing up, some sitting and then standing while working, all of this works. Or maybe you can even walk while you work. That never worked for me, but it works for some people. So they have like working treadmill. So intermittent movement, not having 1 hour workout and then just being okay with sitting all day long, taking as many steps as possible. That also is an important aspect of health. So that continuous intermittent movement, that is the most beneficial practice, not an hour workout. And of course, you gotta, sometimes lift something heavy, sometimes do sprints, sometimes do mobility workouts, stretching, all of that. The more variety you have, the better your body will be, the more you're gonna thrive and avoid degenerative diseases, and the more energy every day you're gonna have, the better your brain gonna work. So that's theme number 3. So number 1, again, 2-3 meals, no snacking. Number 2, we have whole foods. Calories are not enough. You need to eat vitamins and minerals, and whole foods always work better. Number 3, intermittent movement, not just an hour workout and then 10 to 13-14 hours of sitting and then the rest is sleeping. And then the last but not least, I'd like to read actually a couple of pieces I'd like to read to you. One is from the book, The Keto for Life. It's basically combining the diet where you manage your carbohydrates, and when you fast and when you become a fat burning machine, not exactly strict keto, but becoming metabolically flexible, meaning you can burn fat as equally efficiently as you burn carbohydrates, and you have no problem with going without meals for a day, or maybe for a few hours, or having just one meal a day. So the book is about that, and it's by the one of the founders of paleo and keto movement, who's been doing it for like decades, and I think he's like almost 70, and he's like an athlete. He participates in all kind of like tournaments and competitions. So the book is Keto for Life, and the abstract I wanted to read to you is something that I'm also have been practicing for quite a while, and I always post it on my Instagram. So it's about morning walking. Reading. If you aren't inclined to jump out of bed at the alarm and into a pre-dawn spinning class, know that a simple morning stroll will boost mood-elevating hormones like dopamine, serotonin, and adrenaline, teeing you up for a happy, productive day. Furthermore, getting out and exposing yourself to direct sunlight first thing in the morning will entrain your circadian rhythm so you can fall asleep smoothly that evening. And I've been advertising morning walk for better sleep, for better mood, for better productivity, for more energy, for again several years already. So do that, somewhere like as close to sunrise as possible, but before 11 a.m. like that is the latest. You need to do it as early as possible, and 10 minutes is enough. Just go walk your dog. That's guys enough. So that's the piece of advice number 1 that is also been repeatedly appearing in a lot of articles, in a lot of studies. So get out there first thing in the morning, or as close to that first thing in the morning as possible. And then I wanted to read to you a piece from New York Times about Yoshinori Osumi, whom I'm going to be listening to today at Moscow Health event. And I'm very excited about that. So he's the father of autophagy research. And so autophagy, what is it? It is a crucial process. During starvation, cells break down proteins and non-essential components and reuse them for energy. Cells also use autophagy to destroy invading viruses and bacteria, sending them off for recycling. And cells use autophagy to get rid of damaged structures. Guys, you want to really understand this. Cells use autophagy to get rid of damaged structures. And fasting, guys, improves that autophagy, because when you fast, when you do even intermittent fasting, you basically make your cells starve for a while, and that's when they do the autophagy, getting rid of damaged structures and viruses and bacteria. And do you think it's gonna help you to get healthier? You bet it's gonna. So the process is thought to go awry in cancer, infectious diseases, immunological diseases, and neurodegenerative disorders. And aren't we seeing the rise of those? Maybe all the snacking people are doing all the time. Disruptions in autophagy are also thought to play a role in aging. But little was known about how autophagy happens, what genes were involved, or its role in disease and normal development until Dr. Osumi began studying the process in baker's yeast. Why did he win? And he won Nobel Prize, guys. The process he studies is critical for cells to survive and to stay healthy. The autophagy genes and the metabolic pathways he discovered in yeast are used by higher organisms, basically us. And mutations in those genes can cause disease. His work led to a new field and inspired hundreds of researchers around the world to study the process and opened a new area of inquiry. And on that research, intermittent fasting is based, and not eating all the time. So if you are not fasting and eating all the time, understand that you are undermining a lot of processes that ensure healthy function of your cells and usefulness and a lot of other things. So that's the research by Yoshinori Osumi, who's I'll be listening to tonight in Moscow. So that's amazing. I'm very excited about that. So that is a very useful podcast, guys. If you apply what you just heard, re-listen to it, please, by the way. If you apply to your life, and it's not that difficult to apply, I'm asking you to what? Eat 2-3 times a day, stand up every 30 minutes, and having whole foods, more variety every single day, but not that much, and go for a walk in the morning, go do something, walk the dog, walk yourself, go check the mailbox. So re-listen to this episode, apply it, and you'll be surprised after consistently doing it for some time, at least give it a month, because the body, takes time to change. So you'll be surprised how much more energy, vitality, how much less disease you're going to have, how much productive time you're going to get to do whatever you want to do and live your life to the fullest. So re-listen, apply these things. If you have any questions, reach out. Let's have a call. I'll help you to implement it in your life, no matter what kind of life and lifestyle you have, and start living your life to the fullest. That's the message of today. And that's a great way to finish our week, guys. So re-listen to this episode, apply all of this, reach out with questions to your nutrition health coach, Angela Shurina, on the other side of this microphone. And as usual, till next time, till Monday, eat better daily.